Good evening and welcome to Active Citizens Parliament. My name is Sharon Enemchuku. Joining me in the studio as always, I have with me Ifoma Oji. Good evening, how are you doing?
Good evening, Sharon.
How are you doing?
I'm very well. In the, TGIF.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm
I can't wait. After this show right now, I'm going home.
Shut down.
Shut down.
All right, we are all in the TGIF spirit. I mean, why not?
Why not?
Why not? Come on.
Not weak in Nigeria.
At all. Now, still talking about Nigeria. First, Japan scraps a proposed community project in Nigeria after Tinubu's government reportedly lied about visa exemptions for Nigerians. Why would the government risk an international relationship over something this serious? I don't know. Second, while the Tinubu-led government is being called that P2B gets honorary citizenship from the state of Georgia in the United States. What does this say about Nigeria's image abroad, and what message does it send back home? And finally, Professor Joash Amupitan is now emerging as the likely successor to INEC chairman Yakubu Mahmood. And I mean, what's the game plan here? Is this verified? Is this not verified? We're going to find out as the days progress. But let us start first with what is happening in Nigeria and the situation with Japan. So the other day we talked about the fact that the president went to TCAD for the TCAD event and, said a lot of things. And of course, there was a partnership and collaboration that was supposed to happen with the Japanese government and the Nigerian government in order to bring development. But this is on the community level now. But after that, we saw a viral statement now that somehow we have gotten, how do they call it, free visa now, or visa exemptions for Nigerians. And even they were going to give us a village in Japan to allow Nigerians come and dwell there and mingle, do business with other Japanese as well in the country. And this just sparked a lot of, first of all, it was, happy reactions. People were excited about the fruits of this particular meeting that he had. But the Japanese government came out to debunk that. But after that was debunked, it still did not end the fact that a lot of people, both Japanese and Nigerian, bought into that message. And so what happened was that the Japanese people started trolling their prime minister with lots of calls, accusing the government of trying to bring in Africans to come and take over their land and all of that. First of all, that is sea finish on the highest level. I'm just going to say that and move past that. But they made a lot of complaints. And now that initial gentleman agreement that Japan and Nigeria had has now been called off because of that single lie. What's your take, Sulex?
Okay, let me just further maybe explain this the more. That initiative they came up with was more like African Home Initiative, whereby they pair African countries with Japanese cities like Kasarazu, Sanjo, Nagai, and Imabari, and then with African countries like Tanzania, Mozambique, Nigeria, and one other country. I think that should be Ghana. Yes, Ghana. So this was exactly what happened, and it was more like a people-to-people, cultural exchange. It has nothing to do with immigration or anything like that. So Nigerian government, the Oversabi, because they want to make us look, good. They want to make Nigeria seem like, okay, we are headed towards success. They came back to Nigeria, and then the representatives lied to the media, which the media carried it and spread it around all social media platforms that these people want to, special into their country. And that was what sparked the whole reaction. And we were happy then. I'm like, oh, wonderful. People that want to travel to Japan can actually travel. But Japanese started reacting to that. Even when their government came to refute that it is not true, that this is what it is, but it kept on fueling this mistrust or distrust in the government. So they now came and cancelled the entire thing. Now this goes to show you how misinformation and lies can, destroy relationships. Now this is the relationship that was supposed to fetch us, you know, good things. You understand? And this is how our presidents, our government destroyed the entire thing. It makes us look unreliable internationally. And I tell you, it's not just us, it's not just the Japanese that are seeing this or are interpreting us in this certain way. I mean, when we talk about credibility or reliability, other countries are equally seeing this. And this could actually further scare them away from even investing or having any relationship with Nigeria. And I say shame on to the government.
Shame on the Nigerian government. It is not something
for
to be proud
representing
of.
us.
You said the other time, Mr. President, that the reason for his endless travels was to restore the dignity of Nigeria on a global scale, now on a global stage. Having to do this, lying about something as, I don't even see the need for this lie. There was already that planned partnership. Going ahead to just blow it out of proportion, which I think is what they did. They just blew the entire deal out of proportion. It doesn't make any sense. We are still talking about how the 2024 Code of Conduct is against falsifying news, misinformation, fabricating news, and all of that.
Yes,
now, for the government to come out and be the ones to spout and flout this particular code of conduct is just insane. It does not make any sense. And I'm asking now, like, what was the point? I mean, what did they hope to achieve with such lie? And how would this cancellation affect Nigeria's international reputation?
I think I've even captured these things that you asked right now in what I just said. I mean, Nigerians are already seeing, Nigerians have lost trust in, you know, the government and its representation abroad. They've lost that confidence in Nigeria, in the government. That is number one. And then number two, how will these people be seeing us? Like I mentioned, they will see us as, they will perceive us as unreliable. They've been cases of, you know, embarrassment, misinformation, lies here and there. They are seeing all these things, and I tell you, they are having meetings, inner caucus meetings, and probably they might be trying to sensitize other countries not to even, you know, try anything that has to do with investments in Nigeria, because these are the things that we are talking about. The reason why the president's travels is to kind of strengthen the ties and build relationship, possible investment into Nigerian economy.
That's
but
correct.
With all this nonsense that is happening on the social media with their lies, continuous lies, forging or falsifying their certificates, trying to cover everything up, and the entire thing, even on Nigerian faces, when we are seeing that things are not working in Nigeria, but you still go out and you still lie about it.
All right. So now I have another question. Now, because of what happened, now you see this entire campaign was orchestrated by Abiodun Oladunjoye, the Foreign Affairs Information Director under Tinubu. Do you think that Nigeria should single-handedly hold this person responsible for all of this?
He was among those that attended that meeting. That is
maybe.
number one. If he didn't attend the meeting, then whoever relayed the information...
He's the one that relayed the information.
Wait now, calm down. I said if he was present in the meeting, I didn't capture him being present in the meeting, but if he was there, then I think we should hold him accountable, number one. Then if he wasn't there, then whoever relayed the information to him should be held accountable, and then him too should be held accountable because he didn't verify the information before pushing it out to the public.
I don't think you understand what happened here. He came out to claim that Tokyo was introducing a special visa category, not that somebody said to him. He came out to say it. It was his campaign.
He's representing the government.
No, it's his. He's an advisor, director to the government. So it's him. There's no other person. He is the director in this situation. He was the one that came out to give us this information.
Then he should be held accountable. I mean, for falsifying something like that.
That's what I wanted to hear, because at the end of the day, we cannot blame, oh, somebody told him, because somebody, you are the director, who else are we supposed to hold accountable? Now, I'm also asking now, the Nigerian government, obviously, in situations like this, they normally don't come out to say anything, but do we see them coming out to respond now, seeing that the 2027 elections is fast approaching?
They've not rebutted it in the first place. They've not made any announcement.
That's what I'm asking. Do you think they're going to come out to do that?
I don't know if they will still come out. That's number one, because I mean, when this whole thing happened, it's been how many weeks now or month that this happened, the initial one happened, and they came out, they didn't say anything about it. They didn't try to clear the air, you understand, in the first place. So they might still come out to do this because they are trying to protect maybe their image, which is already shattered ahead of the 2027 election. So there is possibility that they will try to, you know, cook up something to.
All right. Now, it is really sad. It is really sad that we keep seeing things like this, where we are trying to protect our image globally. There's a lot of things going on in the international scene. First, it was a Canadian court saying APC and PDP, tagging them as terrorist organizations. And of course, we've had some legal punishments that some of our politicians have had to, you know, be meted out on because of the things and the illegal activities that they have done over time. All of these things back to back, it does not paint a good image of Nigeria abroad, and I don't know when it will end. We've seen situations whereby, oh, we feel that we are putting Nigeria on the map, it's a good thing, but most times, if you pay attention, it's mostly from Nigerian citizens, not the Nigerian government. And at this point, we cannot continue having this conversation in the long run. Now, I also wanted us, just sorry to cut you short, I wanted us to talk about quickly about the honorary certificate, the honorary citizenship that was given to Mr. Peter B in Georgia, USA. Now, he has gotten this, and he went on to have a lot of applause on social media, people congratulating him. And I'm going to read off some comments from X. GRV, our Lagos governor, says, honorary, by the way, Tinubu president. People. Agalaka says, professors rigging certificate forgers and illiterates into office. Agripreneurship says, some people can never relate. I wonder who he's talking to. President Obi says, not Peter Obi, the person is called President Obi, can the city of Chicago honor Agbado with honorary citizenship after his meritorious service to Chicago? Asking for a friend. We know. Now, these are some of the comments that we've seen on X, and a lot of people are celebrating and congratulating. But just to put this now about the current president and everything, what do you think this portrays?
Oh, please, let's give it this is beautiful.
Amazing.
This is what we are talking about.
Thank you.
Don't misrepresent us, but go there and represent us. We are the giants of Africa. We carry Africa's pride. And to see that we still have people that will still carry Africa with pride, represent us with pride, it is beautiful to see on the global stage. Kudos to, you know, Peter Obi. He has always made himself this candidate of the people, and the people have been supporting him for, you know, since he came out for 2023 election, because he stepped out from the status quo of the normality that we know. He stood tall and, you know, stood out, and it's beautiful to see that he is not just regaining more or boosting his reputation here in Nigeria, he's equally doing that abroad. People outside the country could see that, you know, regardless of the fact that Nigerian governments are full of lies, misinformation, and criminal, you know, scandalous activities, they are still people with integrity. And
beautiful.
Peter Obi embodies that, and it is beautiful to see. Kudos to him.
Kudos to you,
more milestones. I tell you, I wish other, you know, politicians can actually be representing us well on the global stage.
Beautiful to see. We are seeing some of these images now, and it just you're just proud to be in Nigeria. It's situations like this that you are really proud to be Nigerian. But now I'm asking, how do you think these internal recognitions affect his political capital, even back here in Nigeria?
Okay, I think he's on a positive side.
Yeah.
Yeah, because ndị Igbo na-asị na a na-ama mma n'ụlọ wepụ ezi. So he has already, built that strong reputation for himself in Nigeria. I mean, he has done a lot of good to Nigerians or in Nigeria. So for him to, transfer those things outside country,
yeah.
I am.
It is beautiful.
God, this is so beautiful to see, I must tell you. And this could equally, strengthen him more against 2027 election. We don't know his stand yet. You understand, with Labour Party or the party he will be, contesting for the 2027 election. But at the same time, whatever party he decides to, support, I believe not just Nigerians but international bodies will throw in their support for him.
And I like that you said that, because one of the reasons that they cited for giving him this honorary citizenship was because of the politics that he has played back in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Not for anything else, because of the politics that he has played in Nigeria. They cited his leadership skills and all of that. So it's really beautiful that we are seeing these international bodies paying attention to what is happening in Nigeria, even though it might not appear as that, but they are paying attention and they are taking notes. Now, I'm asking, do you think that, because this morning we were talking about how ADC has asked him to leave Labour Party and join ADC, now, do we think that this is a win for the opposition party, or it's just PR?
I don't know if I should say it's a win for the opposition party, because he's not even in the opposition party.
He's affiliated.
Yes, he's affiliated. He's just supporting. I remember in one of his comments, he said whatever will lead to better or good governance in Nigeria. If it has to do with a different, entire, new party, if it has to do with coalition, then he is in for it. So he didn't say specifically that he is joining this particular party because he wants to effect, good governance, but it is because he wants the betterment of Nigeria. So
yes.
I don't actually think that, I don't think this is more like going to be a win for coalition, because he's not even in the party in the first place.
I think it will make him hot cake. He's already a hot cake.
Yes. This thing conferred on him will actually, boost his reputation the more, his credibility the more, for any party that he wishes to, contest.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm also asking, for people that witness this now, people abroad, people in USA that maybe saw this or just heard about it in the news, do you think that this is going to send a message to diaspora Nigerians about Obi's influence?
Yes, most definitely. They saw it. A lot of them have seen it, even though maybe most of them might not be interested in what happens in Nigeria. But most of them might not be, you get, because they've already categorized some parties in Nigeria as terrorist organization or parties. So I think that this could actually boost our image in their sites.
It is, yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
But we are seeing this coming from the US. Do you think that the US is trying to relationships with alternative political figures in Nigeria, like Mr. P2B and the rest?
It's possible. They already have, I believe they do have, ties with some Nigerian politicians. They do have, but building this kind of ally or this kind of tie with somebody like P2B, I think it will actually change the narratives that Nigerians are not unreliable, that they are still people with integrity in Nigeria. And I think it will strengthen the relationship the more, to open their eyes that apart from the lies, that there are still people that are willing to serve or are willing to promote or develop their country and possibly other countries.
So you're one of the people at the school, you're part of the school of thought that believe that these international organizations or foreign countries now want the best for Nigerians, because there are people who have said that over time that these people have benefited from the situation Nigerians have found themselves in, with the wars, the terrorism that we see, the inflation and all of that. People have said that it benefits them either with the raw materials, when we talk about oil, crude oil and the rest of them. Do you think, now, are you of that school of thought, or do you think that genuinely countries as powerful as the US want to see Nigeria change for the better?
I think if Nigerians should actually change for the better, it will trickle to a lot of positivity. You understand? If Nigerians regain trust in the international body, problems like investments, Nigerians don't even need to campaign for investments, for people to invest in, our country. You still see that, apart from the fact that some places in Nigeria, they under-report them, but you will start seeing, positive reportage of places in Nigeria or the reforms in Nigeria. I believe it could actually do some, good to Nigeria if this is actually done.
If it is done, to be honest, I would love to see that. Now we are going to move on to our next story. Before I move on to that story, I'm just going to tie it to a previous story that we had some time ago on the show. We also talked about it. El-Rufai came out to say that the federal government is planning on bringing on board as INEC chairman a judge with really bad illegal records, and that when that happens, Nigerians should not stand for such. Anyways, with the turn of events now, it has not yet been confirmed, but according to Sahara reporters, Professor Joash Amupitan is likely to replace INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu. Now, it's not yet confirmed. There's just a lot of this is what we are hearing now in the news, and this is what we are seeing. But let us get a background from you. How did this happen? Do you think that there is a link with what El-Rufai said and what we are seeing now?
Yeah, there might be a link, but I think the person that El-Rufai was talking about is completely different from this guy. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was talking about one Moses Ogbe or so, but this particular person is different. But I think he had an idea of this whole situation, and then Sahara reporters and other news outlets carried it. There's possibility that this might be a rumor, like we said. It is not yet confirmed by the president that he's definitely picking this person. But at the same time, I wanted to say this: if truly that this man, what's his name?
Joash
Amupitan, if he's truly the person that the president will be nominating, or who will be occupying that INEC seat, I think there are a lot of things that we need to verify from him before he's being placed on that position. And then again, I mentioned earlier that I have issues with the 1999 constitution. I have serious issues, because why is it that it is the president that has the power, with the power to appoint whoever is going to be the INEC chairman, forgetting the fact that that same president will still, there's possibility of him rerunning for election. So if he is to appoint the next INEC chairman, that means the person will definitely, swing to his favor.
Yeah, of course.
You understand? So I have a problem. I'm really questioning that, and I think that particular constitution should be amended. It shouldn't be the power of the president to appoint or nominate whoever is supposed to be the INEC chairman, because in the first place, INEC is supposed to be independent.
Now we are going to also give us a backstory, just a little background on who this Professor Joash Amupitan is. So he's a Nigerian professor of law. First of all, we have to know that. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria, and he hails from Kogi State. And people just have a lot of reactions, especially with the fact that they are reacting to the fact that this is somebody that is, you know, from a particular tribe and is supporting and would maybe because of that support the current president. Now we are going to take up some comments from X. Now this person says, Abimbola says, how I wish no professor will accept this assignment. It is rubbing negatively on all Nigerian academics. Oh, wow. Monsieur Noel says, oh, congratulations, PBAS, on your re-election by 2027. We are finished already. Have you conducted it?
Yes, we are
I
finished.
understand what he's saying. Yin Cafe says, it is time to remove the word independence in the from INEC. He's saying trying to infer here is that INEC is no longer an independent body.
Exactly.
But yeah, these are the things that we are seeing. And let's just also throw it back to when we had the discussion about Mahmoud Yakubu being ordered to go on an emergency leave because he has betrayed the APC. And when we say betrayed the APC, the federal government says, we got the backstory saying that he was working behind the scenes to form new political parties. That's one. They said he was supporting a particular Imo State gubernatorial candidate, and all of these things. And one thing that I took home from that was the fact they said he was betraying the APC. So when you hear things like that, it means that INEC is supposed to work in the favor of APC, which is not what independence means. Independent means that you are on your own. You are not relying on anybody. Nothing is interfering with your decisions and your choices and all of that. Now they are saying you people are, that's the INEC, have this just being disloyal to the APC. And this type of statement just makes me wonder, is INEC still independent? Of course, we've seen in most situations that they have not been. Now, with what you have said now, saying that it is wrong for the INEC chairman to be appointed by the current president, how would you suggest, or what would you want to see when it concerns appointing a new INEC chairman? How do you think we should go about that?
I think at this point, yeah, let's leave our distant cards on the table and move to the street. We already have the social media platforms. Let people decide who they want as the INEC chairman. Because if you say let's trust the what is it called, the Senate House have been compromised.
Yes.
If we say let's trust the judiciary system, it has been compromised. What is it that we mention right now that have not in Nigeria, that have not, when it, as regards government, that has not been compromised? So I think at this point, let the citizens decide who they want as the INEC chairman. And that person they would decide will have to publicly vet that person. We need to check his track record. Is he affiliated with any politicians? All these politicians with so many scandals, is he affiliated with them? What is his educational qualification? What does he embody integrity? These are the questions and more that we need to vet. Hope he did not, falsify his educational qualification and the rest of them. These are more is the things that we're supposed to,
verification. Now we have changed the mode we elect these people into power, but there are still some reforms that we want to see with INEC, some electoral reforms that we want to see change. But for you now, what would be, is there any particular, just one electoral reform you would love to see?
I think the electoral reform should start with the INEC chairman, a new INEC chairman. That's number one. And then the person will have to, have knowledge of INEC and how they run their activities. But if I am to talk about what the new INEC chairman should be about here, I think the e-transmission, they should work on the e-transmission. I think this whole network, the glitches and the rest of them, they need to work on them. And then I think they need to filter out all these officials in election in INEC that have been rumored to have questionable characters, I think they need to filter them out and bring in new people with integrity. I think those are the steps to the right direction to reforming INEC totally. So it starts with the INEC chairman.
Now I'm going to ask a question which I think you have somehow answered, but I just want it to be plain. Is this about this move now, this new INEC chairman we are about to see, is this about improving INEC or locking it down politically before 2027?
If it is as regards maybe me commenting on going to the streets decide, then I think it is that reform that we are talking about. But if it is we trying to the government, the ruling party trying to bring in somebody or appoint somebody, then I think at the end of the day there is nothing like reformation, because it's still those old, you know, I don't want to call them old hags, but that is what they are at this point. If those old people and ancestors are still in seats, you understand, that is, they would definitely.
So you think that this is a recycling of elites into democratic institutions?
But yet again,
your contribution, I really appreciate. Exactly. But we thank you for your contribution so far. An amazing conversation all the time on this table, right here at Contributions. We thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments. We are also thanking you for follow us across all social media platforms as active citizens. Find me on my personal page at Sharon Enemchuku. And you?
Ndiba, you can find me on Facebook at Oji Sophia and on Instagram at Missolex.
All right, till we see you next week. Do have a
lovely
great weekend.